Hello everyone, my name is Bridget Humbert. The topic of my speech today is loss of focus on the elderly due to the demands of daily life. To start off, I'm going to speak a little bit about how we prepare for our children when we discover that we're having one, when we're pregnant. We change everything. We change our lifestyle, from eating habits to work schedule to finances to the things we do on a daily basis, because we want to make sure that when this child comes into the world, we're properly prepared to take care of this child. We want to make sure that when this child comes into the world, we have our living arrangement ready to make sure that the area or wherever the baby is going to stay is safe enough for the baby to dwell there. With that being said, I've noticed through my years of being a nurse that we don't do that same preparation for our parents when they're transitioning from their activities of daily living to a situation where they may not be able to take care of themselves, and they begin to rely on other people to do for them what they can't do for themselves. We decide sometimes before we even have a child, oh, I'm not going to send my child to daycare. I don't want anyone to watch my child. I want to watch my child myself. No one can do it the way I can. I don't trust this person. I don't trust that person. I don't trust anybody, especially when it's a first child. So we may even decide that we're going to not be able to do certain things that we did on a regular basis to make sure that we can stay home with this child for at least the first year. And some people do it for as long as 5 years. I'm staying home with my child. My child can't go to daycare because we don't want other people watching this child. We don't trust them to change the child, to properly feed the child, to look after the child, let alone be nice to the child or anything of that matter. We adequately prepare for these children, but no one adequately prepares for the elderly. Sometimes we go into our own lives. We have our own goals as we get older. We create our own immediate families. We have children, husbands, wives, whatever we have going on. Many move out of the state. Our parents are doing their own thing because now we're all in this phase where we can do what we want. But slowly but surely, our parents reach a point where they become forgetful. They're not eating as they should. They're forgetting doctor's appointments. They're forgetting small things. There are small changes that we may not notice until they're too far gone. By the time we notice these changes, we realize, oh, we may need to do something. Something may need to take course in order to make sure that our parents are adequately taken care of. We realize that they may have to move in with us, or we may have to move in with them. However, we're not prepared for that. We didn't prepare for that when we were setting goals for college, goals for school, goals for buying a home, goals for the kids. We didn't prepare for the things that our parents would need for us to properly take care of them so that they can stay in the home for as long as possible during their later years. As they age, we may also notice weight loss, weight gain. They may forget to take their medications, all types of things. These things are looked past because of the things that we have going on in our own lives. I'm at fault for this as well. It's just something that happens naturally with nearly everyone. Then we reach a point where, oh, we didn't get the medication in the early stages of Alzheimer's or dementia or things like this. By this time, they need to either be with us, they need someone to stay in the home to watch them continuously, because there becomes a safety hazard. And we want to make sure that they don't harm themselves or others in the process. Now here comes the stress. Here comes the stress of having to properly manage our family, properly manage our kids, our husbands, our lives, our finances, and now we have a parent who also needs us. Not only do they need us emotionally, physically, mentally, they need us for safety. They need us to make sure that they don't attempt to cook and leave the stove on, don't start fires, don't walk out into the street, don't forget their address, different things of the sort. So all of this is rushed upon us basically at one time without us even preparing or thinking about it. So our parents transition from being independent to being dependent. This is a problem for them as well. They don't want to be a burden. They don't want to cause their kids to have to change their lives or disrupt their activities of daily living in order to take care of them. this is not what they want. So sometimes they hide things. All different things come into play. With that being said, we have to sometimes do what's best for them as well as what's best for us. And sometimes what's best for them isn't what's best for us, and what's best for us isn't what's best for them. So that's where the compromise comes in. If we know we can't adequately take care of our parents in the home, then we try to get someone to come into the home to take care of them. And then there's that dwelling thought of having to put our parents into a facility, a nursing home. No one wants to do that, but sometimes it's best. Proper preparation helps that happen later in life. Without being prepared, it sometimes happens sooner than we would want or would expect. With that being said, my advice to most people is when you become an adult and you start setting your goals and you decide, oh, I'm going to set this aside for this. I want my children to go here. I want my children to go there. I want to buy this house. I'm going to buy this car. I want to own property. I want to own land. We have to also say, I want my parent in the household for as long as possible. Therefore, I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure that that happens. We have to set goals. We have to remember, oh, when I buy this house, maybe I shouldn't get a house with a whole bunch of stairs because mom may have to move with me. Dad may have to move with me. An aunt may have to move with me. Whoever the elderly is that's in your family that may need some type of assistance. Without thinking of things like that, you end up with a lot of changes as the elderly person needs more and more of your assistance. Deciding on a nursing home can sometimes be very difficult for the family. Nursing homes are not where we want our families at, because at this point we have to rely on the staff there to take care of our family. We have to hope and pray that the facility has enough staff to properly take care of all of the people within its facility. We have to rely on our elderly family members to be able to explain to staff what it is they need, and if they can't do that, then we have to be in consistent contact with the nursing home in order to let them know what it is that our family need. We have to deal with attitudes. You're gonna have to deal with all types of attitudes, good, bad, ugly, whatever. You're gonna have to deal with not being able to be transferred to the unit that your family member is on. You're gonna have to be dealing with things like now we're going through a pandemic, so you can't even visit your family members the way you could prior to this pandemic. So there's a lot of things that come into play. But a nursing home is not the worst. If it's what's best for you and what's best for your family member, then that's what should be done to prevent serious issues such as harming self and others. In conclusion, I would say that we as a people need to place as much focus on the elderly as we do on young children. The elderly regress into being a child again. It's almost like taking care of a child again. And I always say that if you are proactive, you don't have to be reactive. So if you have certain things set into play before if you get things set into play before your parents even need it, they can assist you with setting up what they want. They can look into it and set up what they want. You can do it together. And then at that point, when the time comes and the need arises, you know that you're doing exactly what your parent wants you to do. So in conclusion, what I'm going to say is we need to focus not only on the children we're bringing up, but also the parents that are transitioning to their last days of life. With that being said, everyone, please, with the elderly, remember, they need us just as much as we needed them when we were in the womb. So we as a people need to do better to ensure that the elderly don't go through a tough end of life. The last stage of life after retirement and everything should be comforting, should be relaxing, not full of guilt, emotions, and everything where people don't know where they're going to be. I don't want to disrupt my family because I don't want to be a burden, or you feeling guilty because you can't properly take care of your parent because of the stuff that you have going on in life. Proper preparation preparation makes this so much easier for everyone involved. With that being said, guys, have a good day. Think about what I said. Let's prepare for the elderly so that they're properly taken care of. Thank you.